In 12th place on the official list of the 10 strongest Saiyans in Dragon Ball Super currently, we have a character that most fans don't even know exists, but is simply Vegeta's brother. Unlike Vegeta, Tarball is a low-class Saiyan, just like Goku. When Tarball was born, King Vegeta was furious that his son was so weak, claiming he lacked the fighting power and aggression of a Saiyan warrior. He decided to send poor Tarball to a very distant planet, and that's why he had never been shown in Dragon Ball. Until a happy day, September 21st, 2008. Few remember that time, but it had been years since Dragon Ball had even a single episode. Suddenly, they decide to release the episode called The Return of Goku and His Friends. On that day, Goku and the gang were gathered for a delicious feast until a spaceship falls on Earth. A Saiyan emerges, causing apprehension among everyone as they recall the evil warriors from the Z sagas. Tarbo explains that the Namekian informed him of Vegeta's presence on Earth after defeating Frieza. Tarbo believes Vegeta defeated Frieza and is on Earth because two brothers, Abo and Kato, are invading and causing chaos on his planet. Goku arrives, asking about their strength, but Tarbo senses Goku's power and doubts his ability to win. However, Goku surprises Tarbo by transforming into a Super Saiyan. According to Vegeta, Tarbo is still very weak. And this special episode shows that Abo and Kato have the same ranking as the Ginyu Special Forces. That's why Goten and Kid Trunks easily finished them off. 11th place, King Sadala. King Sadala is the Universe 6 counterpart of King Vegeta, the father of the well-known Vegeta from the main series. The twin universe of Universe 7, where Goku lives. Although he has never physically appeared in the anime or manga, he has always been mentioned in a respectable manner. During the Tournament of the Gods, Kyabe tells Vegeta that he resembles his planet's king, piquing Vegeta's interest. After all, Vegeta has not overcome the destruction of his planet to this day, as seen in the recent sagas of the manga, which you follow monthly here on the channel. The manga also references this when Kyabe is defeated by Mona, and Vegeta saves him, stating he won't let Kyabe die until he keeps his promise to take Vegeta to planet Sadala to meet the king. Despite being a strong warrior, he ranks 9th because, unlike Tarbo, he cannot transform into Super Saiyan. This is evident when Kyabe declares that he was the first Super Saiyan of Universe 6. At number 10, we have Yamoshi. The legendary Super Saiyan's identity has always been a mystery. It's not Goku, Broly, or Bardock. Yamoshi was considered a myth until the Dragon Ball Z movie, Battle of the Gods. There, we learned that many years ago, there was a Saiyan different from all the others. He and his 5 companions of just heart started a rebellion against the Saiyans. Being outnumbered, they were cornered, and that's when Yamoshi turned into Super Saiyan, surprising everyone with his transformation and fighting style. As there were many warriors and they continued to attack him, eventually he lost his strength and sadly, he was defeated. But he didn't die completely. Although his body was no longer alive, his spirit began to wander, looking for 6 righteous Saiyans so that they could create a new savior, the Super Saiyan God. It was his spirit that sparked Bill's interest in the subject when the cat had a prophetic dream. To avoid any confusion, I will demonstrate a lie that the anime's own producers put in the movie. In the movie, Shenlong says that Yamoshi was the first Super Saiyan God, but that's not true, but how can it not be true if it's in the anime? The more dedicated fans of the channel know that the guys who make the anime take Akira Toriyama's script as a base, but they change a lot of things. However, Akira Toriyama himself stated in an official interview that Yamoshi was the first normal Super Saiyan, the yellow one. If he said it, it's said. By transforming into Super Saiyan, he surpasses King Sadala. Goten ranks 9th. Goten is a disappointment for those who hoped he would currently be the top one. After all, as a child, he had shown much more potential than Goku and Gohan together. Goten would transform into Super Saiyan while playing, despite his father and brother only achieving this at a much older age through intense training. He's only stronger than Moshi because he's a hybrid Saiyan and has this natural potential. In an interview, Dragon Ball author Akira Toriyama stated that Goten is the Saiyan with the most potential. His achievements prove this. So how did he only come in 9th place, being twice the age he was when he was far ahead of other Saiyans of the same age? The reason is simple, as Goten is a hybrid, he inherited more of the normal human desires than the normal Saiyan desires. That's why he lost interest in fighting, only returning in the latest manga saga as a teenager dazzled by the possibility of being a superhero. Thus, he is relatively strong with his Super Saiyan, but still not enough to defeat the 8th place, Trunks. Goten and Trunks are basically one in Dragon Ball, although their lifestyles are totally different, with Trunks being the son of a scientist and a brave warrior. Goten, son of a traditional mother and laid-back fight lover, shares almost identical power with Trunks. Trunks and his opponent first fought in the Tenkaichi Budokai tournament in Dragon Ball Z, where Trunks emerged victorious. In that same saga, Trunks told Vegeta he was a bit stronger than Goten, leaving Vegeta unsatisfied. Because he expected more dominance from his son compared to Kakaroto's, Trunks and Goten usually make the same decisions. When one fights, the other fights. When one stops, the other stops. Their difference remains the same, with Trunks having a slight advantage. This can be confirmed by the card games from the latest Dragon Ball movie, where they have slightly different powers. The disappointment is in comparing them to Krillin, who is stronger than both of them when they are not transformed into Super Saiyan. This demonstrates Krillin's significant improvement from his power tournament training, while highlighting the teenage Saiyan's underwhelming performance. In 7th place, Kaba. Kaba, a common boy, has surpassed the strength of his planet's king. He is the son Vegeta wished for. When first introduced, Kaba proved to be a different Saiyan, as he had no tail and was neither wild nor wicked. Unlike the Saiyans from Universe 7, the Saiyans from Universe 6 are peaceful heroes and warriors who undertake missions to defeat villains across the galaxies, instead of plundering planets for their universe's Arcosian. Kaba, like all the Saiyans from Universe 6, was unaware of the existence of both the giant ape and the Super Saiyan. In the Tournament of the Gods, Kaba was chosen to fight Vegeta. To help Kaba transform for the first time, Vegeta threatened to kill everyone on his planet, hoping to awaken the boy's fury.
If you touch planet Sadala, if I touch my family, I won't forgive you.
Kaba, in Super Saiyan form, was able to match Vegeta's Super Saiyan power in battle. Of course, the proud Vegeta wouldn't allow this for long, so he decided to show the difference between the two, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue and knocking out Kaba with just one punch. Despite this, Kaba showed courage and was commended for it. Vegeta said Kaba had the potential to reach Super Saiyan Blue one day, which is amazing. We know that Kaba is stronger than Yamoshi because this ancestral Saiyan from Universe 7 was defeated by a group of normal Saiyans who were not transformed into Super Saiyans. And do you remember that all the Saiyans, including Vegeta and his father Vegeta, were completely dominated by Frieza in the base form? Frieza's base form had a fighting power of 530,000, while the version Super Saiyan Goku defeated had 140 million, just 10 million less than Goku at that time. In other words, Goku was 283 times stronger than the version of Frieza that easily frightened the entire planet Vegeta. According to Vegeta, Kyabe without transforming had the same power as him without transforming. It's clear that Vegeta, after his numerous power increases in Dragon Ball Z and training with WHIS, forms the base of Dragon Ball Super, and is stronger than Super Saiyan Goku from the Frieza fight on Namek. Thus, we come to the conclusion that Kyabe, without transforming, is at least 283 times stronger than the entire Saiyan race of that time, let alone just Yamoshi, even more considering that now Kyabe already has Super Saiyan 2, which he also released with the help of Vegeta after not giving up on defeating Mona, being definitely stronger than Yamoshi. In 6th place, we have Caulifla. As the two have the same transformations and very similar feats, it's hard to know who is stronger between Kyabe and Caulifla. But when we pay attention to the information given in anime and manga, we can clearly see that Caulifla is even more amazing than him. Caulifla easily surpasses Kyabe in base form, but in turn is quickly subdued when he becomes a Super Saiyan, although she manages to learn the transformation soon after. During the Tournament of Power, she was no match for Frieza in his final white form, who kicked her with enough force to send her flying to the central pillar of the arena, denting it with an impact. Despite using Super Saiyan, Caulifla remained outmatched by the Tyrant, who taunted that she was unworthy of even playing blocks with him. However, she managed to catch Frieza off guard after he thought she had been defeated, and hit him solidly with a massive point-blank explosion, which was powerful enough to destroy a large part of the arena's edge and cause some minor damage to the Universe Emperor. At this point, Frieza noticed that, compared to Goku's Super Saiyan during their first fight on Namek, Caulifla's was much stronger. In response, Frieza transformed into Golden Frieza and began to easily defeat Caulifla and beat her without using much of his power. In the manga, Caulifla is considered the strongest Saiyan in Universe 6, as even the defense forces of planet Sadala, the Vegeta planet of Universe 6, cannot defeat her. She is considered a fighting prodigy there. Between Caulifla and Kyabe, Caulifla stands out. She is clearly more powerful, skilled, and talented than Kyabe, probably by a considerable difference, while Kyabe is more tactical. Caulifla in base form knocked down Kyabe with a single kick, forcing him to transform into Super Saiyan. This shows that as a Super Saiyan, especially Super Saiyan 2, Caulifla far surpassed Kyabe. Kyabe is strong and talented, but he doesn't come close to Caulifla or Kale. Kale takes 5th place. Everyone was surprised in the power tournament when out of nowhere a girl appeared who transformed into the Broly from the old movies. Although I find this extremely comical, her power is massively greater than almost all of the Saiyans, so let's respect her. Kale is a very quiet girl, and she doesn't like to talk or express herself much, but when she gets angry, it's almost impossible to stop her power. This happens because, just like Broly from Universe 7, Kale is a mutant Saiyan, naturally stronger than normal Saiyans. She was born with great potential, which is a common trait among mutant Saiyans. In the Tournament of Power, she was able to temporarily beat up Vegeta, who was, at that moment, using the power of his Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan transformation, or simply Super Saiyan Blue. This feat shows that she is vastly superior to her universe mates. Who is the most powerful in Universe 6, Hit or Kale? Leave your opinion in the comments. From the top 5 backwards, it's very easy to understand the strongest because the anime and manga make this interpretation clear. However, the current top 4 will consider WHIS's revelations about the warrior's power. After all, he is the best power evaluator we currently have in the work, so Broly ranks 4th. Many think that the only survivors of the planet Vegeta explosion in Dragon Ball Z were Vegeta, Raditz, Nappa, Tarbo, and Goku. In fact, 2 other Saiyans survived, and this was told in the movie Dragon Ball Super Broly. Broly, the movie's protagonist, is a Saiyan born with power surpassing Prince Vegeta's, infuriating the king. Vegeta's father wanted to end Pargas's son, but Pargas wouldn't allow it. He decided to flee with Broly to another planet, but as his ship broke, he and Broly were trapped on the terrible planet Vampa. So years and years passed, until 2 of Frieza's soldiers discovered Broly. Frieza, without hesitation, brought him to Earth for a fight against Goku and Vegeta. Broly was so strong at that time that even with the strongest forms that Goku and Vegeta could freely use, they were unable to defeat this monster. The more he was pressured, the more power he showed, and to end this threat, the Godita fusion of Goku and Vegeta was necessary. But why is Broly only 4th? Because the story continued. The manga recounts these events and continues from this point. After that, the Galactic Patrol Prisoner saga unfolds, where Goku and Vegeta surpass Broly. WHIS confirms this at the start of the Granola the Survivor saga, which follows the previously mentioned saga. While meditating, Goku asks WHIS if he knows of anyone in the universe stronger than himself and Vegeta. WHIS says no, but you never know when someone powerful might appear. Since WHIS watched Goku, Vegeta, and Godita fight Broly from the sidelines, we can deduce that Broly is no longer at their level. Over 30 chapters after the aforementioned meditation, Broly returns in the manga. When fighting Beastly Gohan and training with Goku and Vegeta, it's confirmed that he was indeed surpassed. In 3rd place, we have Vegeta. Dragon Ball Z often forgot Goku's greatest rival, Vegeta, but Super finally gave him the spotlight after a long time. Do you remember that Vegeta was far surpassed when Goku used the Ultra Instinct against Jiren, the man who was stronger than a god of destruction? The thing is, after that, Goku was surpassed by Vegeta. This occurs in the saga where Goku meditates with WHIS, as just mentioned. At that point in the story, WHIS and Bills were competing to see which of their 2 disciples was the warrior that the Oracle Fish had dreamed would emerge as the strongest in the universe in the future. In a prophetic dream, Bills taught Vegeta the god of destruction transformation to win a dispute. In the end, neither Goku nor Vegeta were the warrior of the fish's dreams. It was Granola, the only survivor of a planet plundered by Frieza's army 40 years ago. Vegeta fought Granola, performing better than Goku thanks to his new superior ego transformation. Granola only surpassed Vegeta by using a hack, which requires further reading to understand. I'm considering sharing this entire saga on the channel, so subscribe with the bell activated if you want to see it. In 2nd place is Gohan. This will be controversial. Gohan is more than just Goku 2.0. He is a combat genius, unmatched by any other Saiyan. He's smart enough to understand techniques and transformations, which is why he's ranked so high. Gohan was the strongest Saiyan at the end of Dragon Ball Z, excluding fusions. Just like in this video where I'm not counting confusions. After that, Gohan had a huge journey until he finally gets a relevant power again. Under Chi-Chi's influence, Gohan stopped training and became a biologist. From mid-Dragon Ball Super onwards, his fights became mediocre. But it was only in the last released movie that Gohan reached an incredible level. The movie Dragon Ball Super Hero, which was later adapted into the manga, shows that Gohan achieved an evolution of mystical power, which he had trained with the old Kaioshin in Dragon Ball Z to become stronger to defeat Majin Buu. This evolution was currently awakened by seeing the near death of Piccolo and Pan in danger. According to Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, this transformation comes from the feeling that the inner beast has awakened, and it awakened to face a classic villain, Cell. But not the Cell we know, but rather Max Cell, a new version created by a scientist who used Dr. Gero's work as a basis, at the behest of the Red Ribbon organization. In the manga, Gohan greatly improves this form with the help of Piccolo, and it becomes much more powerful than in the movie. That's why I made the video of the 20 strongest, and now Gohan is much higher on the list, because more manga came out after that video of mine. He was able to defeat Broly with ease, even after an exhaustive battle against Goku. Against his father, Gohan managed to break the defense of the Ultra Instinct, even though it cost him a lot of energy. But wouldn't that mean Gohan is stronger than Goku? Well, actually, it's not quite like that. When Goku arrived on Earth to see what Gohan had done during the time he was away, his intentions were just to test Gohan, and this fight was friendly. For most of the fight, Goku had the upper hand, but after being hit, he wanted to stop the fight, as he had seen enough. The fight also makes it clear that Goku Ultra Instinct and Gohan fight at similar levels, so what would break the tie would be other factors. And what factors are those? After the Tournament of Power, Goku developed incredible powers that he hid in his last fight against Gohan. For example, he gained a level of teleportation that surpassed his previous abilities, which he used to fight Gas in the manga. He also hid his strongest power, the Ki Avatar, which is unknown if he can only use with the help of Ubi, but if he can use it alone, it is Goku's strongest ability so far. Against Gohan, Goku's emotions hindered his superior instinct, which requires a calm heart and peaceful spirit to remain powerful. But Goku, even after a time skip and a lot of meditative training to really do this, didn't bother to do it against Gohan. For all these reasons and a bit more, in first place we have It's not absurd to say that Goku and Gohan are on equal footing, and anyone who wants to consider that Goku and Gohan are at the top based on what was seen in the most recent battle, feel free to do so. The reason I put Goku first is that he holds many techniques and powers that he developed throughout the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga and the Granola the Survivor Saga. Though Goku and Gohan have similar power levels, Goku's techniques, experience, and combat sense surpass Gohan's. Gohan often slacks off in fights, which Goku wouldn't forgive, but Cellmax lacked the combat intelligence to notice this. But we can't underestimate Gohan, as in WHIS's speech, which I also used as a basis for the video. Gohan has exceptional abilities. The Angel, unlike others, thought the Gohan vs Goku fight would be interesting, suggesting Goku wouldn't win as easily as expected. The only question you might have left is, why do Goku and Gohan surpass Vegeta? The simple fact is that Goku, in the foreboding of the superior instinct, a transformation inferior to the one used against Gohan, already surpassed Vegeta in the superior ego. So the two are definitely ahead based on what was shown. Unless something not yet shown interferes with this analysis, since the manga is being released, but it wouldn't make sense for me to consider that, would it? We have to consider what we have now. But regarding Gohan, until he surpasses Goku's feats in Ultra Instinct, our protagonist will remain at the top of this list. I will bring an updated list when the manga changes. Click the on-screen video to see the 20 strongest Dragon Ball characters. To encourage me to bring new videos, leave your like and subscribe so you don't miss the next ones. I'm working really hard to bring the best content to you, and I sincerely thank you all for your support.